Happy Friday, almost Saturday. So being an adult is harder than it looks. Take it from me, and I'm someone with the heart of a child, which I keep in the glove compartment. Yeah, uncomfortable laughter. It's my middle name.
He was pretty comfortable with it.
Yeah.
I was staring at it.
According to a new survey of 2,000 recent grads, 81% of them wish they were taught more life skills before graduating. Apparently, demanding an end to misgendering non-binary students in the geology department wasn't enough prep on how to pay bills without selling your kidneys on Craigslist. That was a long sentence. The top skill these young people wish they knew more about include how to invest as well as long-term financial planning, which is weird since who needs long-term anything if the world's going to end in 8 years? If AOC's correct, you might as well just take up smoking, crack, or meth, crack and meth. Other concerns are home maintenance, like resetting a Wi-Fi router, doing laundry, and perhaps the most important skill of all, unclogging a toilet. Sorry, but what's to learn about unclogging a toilet? First, stop flushing things that aren't toilet paper, Emily.
Oh, God.
And second, blame
I laughed.
it on whoever you're living with. I learned that from Kilmeade. But what this tells you is that these little Fabergé eggs have never heard of a plunger. When I grew up, the only household tools we used were the plunger and the can opener, and God forbid you mix them up. Something tells me, though, that if you handed a plunger to a recent grad, they would attach a BLM sign to the end of the handle and wear it like a rubber skull cap to an anti-cop rally. It's a good look. Other findings were 3 in 10 regret not learning how to budget, which makes them lousy grown-ups but amazing politicians. 1 in 5 still don't know how to cook unless it's thawing a Hot Pocket with a blowtorch. The same number can't do their own laundry, which is mind-blowing. How hard is it, really, to do your laundry? Just take a shower with your clothes on. It's what Ducey does every morning when you get up that early. Their top financial stress is paying their monthly rent, which is normal. We all worry about paying bills when we're young, but that's why stripping was invented. How do you think I could afford my gym dues? Shaking these hips. So why all the regret about lacking real-life skills? Because now they're in real life, and college had indulged a juvenile fantasy world, much like CNN. And they charged you a fortune to tell you the skills that made their parents successful enough to afford tuition are for evil people with dirty hands and dirty minds and, God forbid, American flags. It's far better to condemn capitalism than admit you benefited from it. So what's the number one skill in life that you should have learned, in my opinion? It's to be useful. It's that simple. It overrides education and wealth. If you're useful, you're indispensable. It's the opposite of the academics' definition of help, that fake activist theater that college hammers into you. They believe help is you marching for change or holding a sign, kneeling during the anthem, burning down a city block, dyeing your hair blue, screeching at cops who make less than your yoga instructor. Now, that isn't being useful. That's the phony college definition of importance, inflating your own ego, making yourself the center of attention. And what kind of clueless narcissists act like that? It's no life skill. You know what it is? What is a life skill? Dialing conflict down instead of up. That's useful. As two-parent households dwindle, gone is the example set by parents to responsibly control your impulses and anger when conflict arises. The skill of dialing it down is lost. And what's filled that hole? The worst thing you could imagine, the mob. And I'm not talking about the mafia. They had much better food. I mean the gawking hordes of social media who prefer you dial things up and not down. So we have a generation egged on by likes and clicks who, when they see something bad happening, instead of helping, turn into Scorsese with a smartphone. As college deprives you of life skills, the only thing left that you can grasp is this exhibition activism. Have you ever imagined the life of an activist? A modern activist? Do they ever enjoy a leisurely dinner? No. Do they have a comfortable group of friends that they can bowl with? No. Could they help you out in a clutch? No. Holy crap, I think I described me. But they don't have jobs or a car or even wisdom. Could they be in a relationship with anyone beyond a therapist or the Amazon delivery guy? Could they get married? No, who would agree to that? Where would you honeymoon? The Chaz in Seattle? You get hit by a fish at the market, then punched by a goon in the streets. But even more, they have no life skills, just resentment, student debt, and hate. Then again, maybe they don't need life skills because they don't have lives. The elite activist class prefers it that way. If these suckers ever wise up, the radical leftist grift is dead, and woke ends up with a wake. But academia knows that if you can't survive in real life, you'll cling to their bitter offerings. You won't be able to clog a toilet because you're just too full of Let's welcome tonight's guest, the National... Oh, look at that. The National Guard gets aroused when they call up his unit. Fox and Friends co-host Pete Hegseth. The only time he gets laughs is from asking women to dance. Comedian Joe Mackey. Yeah. When she talks, Ben Shapiro tells her to slow down. Outnumbered co-host Emily Campagno. And finally, he's so huge we use his socks as parachutes. My massive sidekick and host of Nuff Said on Fox Nation, Tyrus. So glad we put acid in the water for the audience. Yeah, you can tell. So, Pete, you have 33 children?
33. Yep.
Yes. At last count. I asked him how many nannies it takes. You have, 4 nannies on call?
When necessary, yeah.
Yes.
The Brazilian mafia, actually,
Yes.
that we have in our neighborhood, they're willing to help out anytime.
All right. What do you consider useful life skills that you'd like to see your kids learn?
It's actually, in preparing for this segment, I thought about when I have to stop doing things for my kids and when I need to start making them do them.
Excellent.
It's not a clear line. Some kids are ready for it earlier, but that is the responsibility of parents. And then in some places, I remember I took a home ec class in junior high and I learned how to write a check. That was nice. I should have taken shop class because we could throw an engine in front of me and I have no idea what to do with it. And I still regret not doing that.
Well, thank God we've got Joe Mackey here.
Yeah, he's on it.
Yeah, any guy whose jacket stays zipped up, he knows stuff.
Yeah. He's like Knight Rider without the car.
Yeah.
Where's your talking car, Joe?
I don't need a talking card, Greg. I have my phone for that.
So, more about your kids.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're saying it's better to almost free range them, throw them out there?
Yeah, at some point, you just got to let them go. I make pancakes for them. In the next year or so, it's got to be you figure it out, make it for me, I'll tolerate the mess. Because
turn them into little slaves.
Well, that's what they are. They're free labor eventually. But we're not quite there yet. Not when they're 4, Greg.
What's going to happen when I'm old? I'm not going to have any people changing my diaper.
You can pay my kids.
Oh, there you go.
That's your option. But then they go to a safe space in a bubble where they get an intersectionality degree, and they've never done their laundry.
Yeah.
But now I know why the Antifa riots, they smell so poorly, because there's no laundry being done.
Exactly.
It's a time-tested thing.
Yeah, Tyrus, you're the other person here with children. You have
Allegedly, yes.
a large family.
Courts say so sure.
What would happen? Is there any danger that your children could end up as woke activists?
No, not at all, because I believe in the sea turtle parenting theory, critical sea turtle theory. You hatch from the egg, you pull yourself up from the sand, well, good luck. And there you go. This is the fault or the guilt of parents who work hard. And they feel guilty because they got to work that 45-hour shift or the 50-hour shift. So they try to protect, they want to do everything for their kids because they feel like they're making up for lost time. But what you're making is a spoiled brat and a victim who then learns how to manipulate, whose favorite thing to do is, Ma, you do it, I'm playing the game. Ma, I don't want to do it. The ones who complained, who said that they never learned life skills, no, you were taught, you just chose not to pay attention because you were in your phone or in your game or whatever it was that you wanted to do at that time, and you learn now to play the victim. Oh, gee, I really wish I learned, my mom would have taught me to learn how to do laundry. She did. You just didn't want to do it. You threw a tantrum, and she did it for you.
How hard is it to learn laundry?
You know what, because here's the deal. My mother worked hard, but she didn't feel guilt. She was pissed she had to work hard and couldn't go party. So if my clothes had stained on it, well, your big ass put it there. There's the machine. Figure it out. You can read, right?
Yeah.
You go to school 5 days a week, right? So you had to learn something. There. This is tied. Good luck. Yeah. And at first you're like, well, and then you figure it out because you don't want to be made fun of at school. You need to let them fail. I would call it life lessons. Daughter's climbing a chair, her mom would be like, help her. Nope, life lesson coming up. Wop, wah! Next time she sees that chair, she's gonna go, I don't know. Life lesson.
As a kid in the 70s, I had that amazing combination of motherhood and alcohol. Like moms were great moms.
Still a combination.
Yeah, they would like by noon they would have their lunch drink and then the food would get a little bit more sloppy, right? Like you might find a cigarette and then ravioli.
Yes.
But it was good. Mom was pretty fun by 6 o'clock. Joe, how you doing?
I'm hanging in there, Greg.
Yeah, that's all we can ask for with you.
Are you cold?
No, it's freezing in here. There's like icicles coming down.
What did you learn from this research, this survey? What disturbed you? What excited you? What confused you?
I didn't learn anything I didn't already know because I remember my guidance counselor in college asked me what I wanted out of college. And I said I wanted a college degree. And he got kind of mad. He said, well, what are you going to do with that? And I'm like, did you go to college to be a guidance counselor? The whole idea is preposterous. And I ended up coming to New York and getting a temp job in human resources.
Yes.
Where a lot of the other temps were high school grads that just got a temp job and they were getting paid by the company to go to college to get a degree in the job they were already doing. None of it makes any sense. College is, for most degrees, a piece of paper that doesn't really teach you anything you need. It just said, hey, I jumped through that hoop.
Right.
So if you're looking for college to get life skills, that's why they don't call it the real world.
Right.
You're in the whole wrong place to get that.
It is college degrees are the original virtue signal.
They are.
To corporations because and so now now you got to get a graduate degree, now you got to get a PhD, and your debt just keeps increasing. But it's like an arms race between overeducated, overcaffeinated people. Let's go to Elvira. How you doing?
Is she coming? Meant me.
We're in a black.
That funny, Tyrus.
It's funny because it didn't happen to me.
I'm just talking about that. You look stunning in your black dress.
Thanks.
Yeah. You know what's interesting about college students? The people with the least amount of wisdom are the ones that are shouting at us. That's the thing that just drives me crazy. I wouldn't mind them admitting that they don't have life skills if they also admitted, don't tell us about what's wrong with this world. But they've married this ignorance of life skills with this arrogant belief that they can yell at us. I don't know.
Absolutely. That's always how it is, right? It's the smallest dog that does the loudest barking.
Ooh, is that an attack at me?
Subconsciously? You're absolutely right. And to your point, I totally agree. I think the issue for these kids, starting at a young age, is either being enabled or an issue of exposure. So either parents in the home or whatever home life they have has enabled the fact that they don't know how to do anything, or they weren't exposed to it and they had a different kind of home and they weren't exposed to it in the school systems, which is why school choice should come in and having other types of exposures. I mean, think about what our schools are focusing on, right? Make sure you have the right pronoun. Make sure you understand this, right? And this is how this is oppressive and this is how this should be, and all these boxes that have to be checked. But along the way, they're probably missing the kids that don't know how to do laundry and don't wash their own clothes or whatever it is. They're missing a whole other ton of fundamental issues. And it goes up through graduate schools. I learned more in my first hearing than I did in my entire criminal law class. I learned more in 1 hour in a prison than I did in all years of law school, which is why I think visiting prison, which is why I think that.
I was about to say, all right.
I saw your expressions. I saw your expressions.
Did she just say she was in the pen? Sorry.
Which is why I think every judge, every attorney, also every politician, they should all spend one ride on the subway, spend 1 hour in the prison. Like it takes a lifetime of these concepts you learn in schools to amount to 1 minute in the real world. And I think the world would be a whole different place if these guys that make decisions for the rest of us would have some of that real world experience.
So basically what you're saying is people who have experience and wisdom should be exposing themselves to children.
That's a felony.
Yeah, yeah. You dropped the one on that one, little dog.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.